evening, Mr. and Ms. Internet, and all our ships at sea. Time for another little freeway chat here. I'll be your host, Atari, for the next half hour or so, or however long this ends up going. I hate this weird time of day where, you know, it's sunny, but it's not, you're not, like, it's not entirely dark yet, but it's not entirely dark yet, but the sun's really low in the sky, but if you're not looking at it, it's okay, so you just gotta keep switching your glasses on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Anyway, so here we are. Just another beautiful Monday, another manic Monday here in Southern California. Notice I got the top down, with you know, my heart going out to the East Coast there, with the nor'easter bearing down on them. Just lots and lots of snow coming down, from what I hear. But I will stay right here in my sunny 78. Well, it's not 78 today. It's, you know, like 68, 70 today. But I will stay right here in my sunny Southern California. Because I prefer being able to put my top down in the middle of February and not worry about the snow. So, today's news, there was apparently a jilted wife murdered her grand wizard of the KKK husband. Wow. You know, it took him filing for divorce, or threatening to file for divorce, for you to pop one in the skull there. Yeah, so, this woman with a different sort of motive did something that I'm sure a lot of people out there would not mind doing to somebody like that. Pop one in the skull while he's sleeping and drag him off and drop him face down in the river. Seems like a way to go if you're a grand wizard of the KKK. Not too fond of KKK myself. Yeah, I have seen those asshole burning crosses and shit. I ain't too fond of it. Yeah, it kind of gives the rest of us a bad name. Anyway, so there's that story, and that's been kind of floating around the internet today, the past couple of days, I guess, with the investigation. Turns out the mom and the stepson were arrested on suspicion charges. Motive being that he was going to file divorce when he got back from his little business trip. Also in today's news, U.S. citizen, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and I'm certainly not going to look it up while I'm driving. U.S. citizen detained at the customs, at the airport. Detained at the airport because he refused to let CBP search his phone. U.S. citizen returning to the States. I believe he does have Fourth Amendment protections there. Nevertheless, CBP detained him on the grounds that he would not let them search his phone. I do believe the legality goes that they have the right to do it if you let them do it. But they cannot compel you to unlock it for them. So I think that is the legality of the issue. I'm not entirely certain. I'm certainly not a lawyer. I'm certainly not well read on this. Certainly not well read on the situation. But folks, this is the fascism known as the Trump administration. Now, granted, this did start under the auspices of Obama. It did. I do believe that there is a bit of emboldening now that we have a off the deep end right-winger in the White House right now. So that's a problem. I prefer my country to have, freedom of movement. I prefer my country to have the right to privacy in their personal effects. I do believe that a search of an electronic device is above and beyond the purpose of customs enforcement. So there's a problem. They did, in fact, let the gentleman go after he acquiesced. The problem then is that he refused to let them search the phone, giving the excuse that, well, it's not his phone. It belongs to the federal government. It belongs to NASA, because he's a NASA scientist. So, you can go where you want to with this. Trump's war on science. Personally, not a fan of Cheeto-in-Chief. That's the thing, and that's not because I'm some bleeding heart, liberal-ass Southern California guy. No, I had a problem with the guy to begin with. I have a problem with Barack Obama, or I had a problem with his administration. I had a problem with Hillary Clinton. I have a problem with American politics in general at this day and time, because I do believe that there is an absolute contempt. There is an absolute contempt, not only for the Constitution as written. There is a contempt for liberty, and there is a contempt of the American people. And that is the problem. And Donald Trump is not the answer. I'm sorry, he is not the answer. He is a symptom of the problem, y'all. Yes, he said a lot of pretty things that a lot of angry folks liked. And that's why he got into office. Now, I tend to agree with a lot of them angry folks on some grounds, not the whole racially motivated bullshit, or keeping the Muslims out of the country. No, that's not what I agree with. However, the political ruling elite in this country have all but dismantled every last semblance of the American dream, of American freedoms, of the American ideals of liberty, and that is the problem that we face today. I don't believe the liberals are the answer. I certainly don't believe conservatives are the answer. I wholeheartedly believe that a focus on individual freedom, on individual liberty, and a focus on reining in the excesses of unchecked corporatism. Yeah. That's the sort of stuff that is damaging this country. Corporations are not people. I'm sorry, they're not. Corporations are not, should not be granted the same sets of rights and liberties that individuals are. And that's by their very nature. They're corporations. They are not individual persons. They are not citizens. And I think there's a great disconnect between the auspices of personal liberty, the auspices of economic liberty, and the auspices of corporate liberty. Corporate liberty, corporatism, let's just call it what it is, it's corporatism. It's protectionism. Business protectionism is not good for either of those other two things. Until Washington and until the state legislatures figure that out, we're going to continue to have this problem. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I'm getting off subject. The moral of the story here is that an American citizen was wrongfully detained upon re-entry to the country. Now, when I say American citizen, no shit American citizen. Like, fucking natural-born U.S. citizen. Valid U.S. passport. Everything. The whole 9 yards. And when you start detaining U.S. citizens and questioning them and holding them for exercising their rights, essentially, you're creating a police state. You're creating essentially East Germany. You're creating Eastern Europe. Creating Soviet-style control over a population in a country that's supposed to be free. That's supposed to be the people are supposed to be self-determinant, and that's scary to me. That's incredibly disconcerting, and I would like to do everything I can to stop it in its tracks. To curb this wanton flaunting of liberty. I don't know, I feel like more and more I just want to run for office. But I don't have the money. I don't have the money to come in, and I don't have a war chest. I don't have any kind of, I don't have the means to do such things. I'm a working class guy. I'm a working guy. Regular job that I commute to and from. I go into the office, I punch a clock, I come out. I go home and then I work on this. I do this stuff. And I just run my mouth and don't get over yet. That old woman in her Lexus don't want to let me over. She don't want to get up further. She don't want to get up far enough. Anyway, yes, I'm a regular Joe, and I come home, I work on this kind of stuff because this is what I enjoy doing. So there's that. I'm not. I didn't fall off a turnip truck when I got here, but I did not, I'm also not a silver spoon. I work for a living. And I got bills to pay. I don't have too many mouths to feed. But I do have bills to pay. I got a lot of stuff to pay off. I got a lot of stuff to say, atone for. It's kind of bad wording. Basically, I've got to spend however much longer I got to spend on it, paying off debts incurred in my 20s, because I didn't have good guidance. I didn't make good decisions. And, oh yeah, and the fucking banks pulled the fucking rug out from under me. Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, a little bit pissed off about that kind of stuff. And the fact that we're still allowing them to do these sorts of things is really just burning my biscuits. Here's my 2 cents. If you are a customer of a bank, get out. Like, seriously. Go find a credit union, join a credit union, and put your goddamn money where it's going to work for you and not for a handful of shareholders somewhere on fucking Wall Street. Bring the money back to Main Street. And the only way you can do that is to actually do it. You can't let somebody else do it. You can't let Washington say they're going to do it, because they won't do it. They can't. The hands are too deep into somebody else's pocket. They won't do it. They won't do it for you. You've got to do it for yourself. That's my rant about finance. Put your money in a credit union. Put your money in a put your money in a mutual, put your money in a credit union, do the co-op thing. Things like that. That is the free market. That is the free market answer to what would otherwise be public ownership, quote unquote public ownership, government ownership, or government mandated. Credit unions exist for the benefit of their members, not to screw them over. And I've been a happy member of a credit union for, golly, on 10 years, I guess. One credit union or another. Even in the even during the turmoil of the financial crisis, let's call that the Great Recession. Even in the turmoil of all that, I was still a member of a credit union. My mortgage was with a bank, but you know, you get conned into something and you get sweet talked in it, and they say, hey, look at this, it's going to work out for you. And then it doesn't. Anyway, enough of that. So Pinball Wizard has to be a twist. A pinball wizard got such a supple wrist. How do you think he does it? What makes him so good? I do love The Who, man. Yeah, Pinball Wizard, you know, had that on my letter jacket back in the day. You could see that if you go to my YouTube channel and you look up, oh, it's in the Algebra 1, or, you know, sorry, the Algebra 2 video. Algebra 2, Chapter 11, Rational Polynomial Expressions. Watch the video, enjoy the video, learn something, maybe. Doubtful. Anyway. So, I do love The Who. I did have Pinball Wizard on my jacket, on my Letterman's jacket in high school. Unfortunately, that jacket did burn in a catastrophic house fire. Had a rough 20s. Had a rough decade there in my 20s. That was bad, man. There's the traffic-y part of, as you can see behind me, there's a little bit of a line. There's a little bit of a line in front of me, too. Beep, beep. Yeah, see, there it is. Anyway, so, yeah, so I do enjoy the little bit of pinball that I get to play. I mean, the machines, you just can't find them anymore. They're nowhere. There's only one company that makes pinball machines anymore, Stern, and their machines fucking suck. Broken half the time. Nobody knows how to fix them. Nobody knows how to repair them. Nobody wants to build them. They're too expensive. Nobody wants to buy them, except private collectors. They certainly don't want to put them in arcades anymore. Fuck, what's an arcade anymore? God, I remember when I was a kid. Just you go to Dave & Buster's, and there was a fucking wall of pinball machines at Dave & Buster's. It was fantastic, like 20 or 30 pinball machines, all just lined up, ready for playing. And they just disappeared over time. It's terrible. It's such a shame that arcade culture has just eroded in favor of home gaming and stuff like that. I have nothing against home video gaming. I really don't. I enjoy it. I enjoy playing the occasional game once in a while. I will pop up every once in a while and play and we'll do a Let's Play on YouTube. We'll play some classic games. We'll have some fun. But by and large, I miss the social aspect of gaming. I really do. And part of that is I don't have anybody here that I can play with. I don't have my regular group of friends that sit around on Friday, Saturday nights and play video games. In the same room. Because online is it's not the same. Online is just not the same. So I'd love to see that make a comeback. I think with the Nintendo Switch, you're gonna see more of that. We'll find out. Time will tell. But I do miss the pinball. I really do miss the pinball. One of my projects down the line, way down the line, is going to be building a virtual pinball machine out of a couple of monitors. And that'll be entertaining, I think, hopefully. Gotta find room to work on it. That's a big deal. I'm like the post-apocalyptic inventor. I've got all this stuff to work on, but I don't have any room to do it. That's the hard part. You know, having room to work on this stuff is really tough. Room and time. Because, like I said, that's not my full-time job. I can't do YouTube as a full-time job. I don't have the income to do that. My YouTube is not self-sustaining yet. And by my viewer count on Periscope, I'm certainly not self-sustaining yet. You know, I have faith I'll get there eventually. One of these days, people will watch, people will enjoy, whatever. Yeah. I got a touch of a cough. Bit of a cough. So yeah, I had a really bad allergy attack. I don't know, about a month ago, I guess. Just had a little bit of a little touch of a cough ever since. It's just been kind of there. It'll clear up eventually. Anyway, you know, so that's pretty much all we got going on. What we got going on today. I'm gonna wrap this up now because I am getting off the freeway. But you know, let me know. Hit me up on the Twitter and see what's going on. Of course, always check out youtube.com/theairbornesurfer, at airbornesurfer.com on Twitter. And, drop me a comment, watch a video, give me a like, say hello. Anytime, I'm here on the Periscope, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, unless I say otherwise. It'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, about 5 o'clock Pacific time. So, that's really it. And until next time, tally ho, y'all.